Hello, uh, welcome to another video in my never-ending series of things to keep my mind occupied. Um, this little video is exactly as the title says, the evolution of a chess set with a focus on a recent purchase of fine chess pieces. Um, Recently I've gotten into making videos about subjects that have interested me over the years, and one of those interests has been chess. Um, I just recently completed here a little project that I call the Introduction to Chess, and I had a lot of fun making this. It consumed about 100 hours of my time, which I have in abundance since I'm retired now from the rat race for about 5 years, and just it was great. That project was just probably more about how to make a movie than it was about chess itself. But hopefully, someone will have the patience and 2.5 hours of free time to look at it and maybe learn a little bit about the game. Um, it I don't know. I can say that I'm not good at making movies, nor am I good at playing chess. But no matter. I in the process of doing it, it reinvigorated, reopened a passion that I have for the royal game, and it caused me to spend a whole bunch of money that that I really should have spent more wisely, somewhere else. But what the heck? You only live once, right? Um, when making my little movie, I broke out the old chess set that I've used mostly for display for the last 40 years. It's a perfectly fine set. It conforms to international tournament standards, and it's quite aesthetically pleasing to me, But for some reason, I was drawn to impulse, which I am occasionally prone to go ahead and upgrade the set for the third time and get a set of luxury pieces to complement the very fine board that I have. So, without further ado, let's take a look at it. Okay, I'll start here with the board. I don't remember exactly when I purchased this board. Sometime in the early or mid 70s, I think. I must have done my homework because I ended up with a really nice one here. This board is made by Druki. Druki has been making quality wooden board games in Michigan since 1914. And before World War I, most chess sets came from Europe. So this is a good old-fashioned made in the USA product. Uh, Druki was eventually sold to the Carom Company in 1990, and they're still around, and you can still purchase a variety of board and table games from them, and even larger arcade games. All of the wood for these boards was sourced from the same person in Michigan until he retired, 10, 12 years ago, sometime early 2000s, I believe. And this particular board was discontinued. And since it's been out of print, they're getting very hard to find. I found two of these a while back on Amazon. Was hunting around, and they wanted $500 each for them. They're since gone, and I've seen some being sold on eBay for less. But I don't know if they're the same size and vintage as this one. This one's called the Grandmaster model. It's 23 inches by 23 inches with 2¼ inch squares. What makes it really desirable, besides its appearance, is its construction. The fit and finish are beautiful on this board, and the wood blocks, these are not veneer or inlay. These are solid wood blocks, a 1/2 inch thick. You can flip the board over here and see that it's all the way through, and I've scuffed it up and damaged it a little bit on this side from sliding it around over the years, but the playing surface is pristine, so that's all I'm really concerned about. Um, it's the squares are made of American black walnut and aspen. Um, you don't normally think of aspen uh, a light color wood that's used in chessboards. Maple comes to mind as a more common material. Um, but you can see that a lot of care has gone into the manufacture of this board. It wasn't just thrown together. There was some thought that went into it. Um, the central light colored squares here, the D&E files. There's kind of a swirly pattern to the aspen, and then you go out, and the light color squares in the C and the F files here have a dark striation grain to them, straight, rather dark, and then you go out again um, to the B and the G files, and that same striated pattern is there, but it's lighter. And then again out at the A and the H files, the swirly pattern is more like the central light squares. And then the dark squares, the American black walnut, again, all the grain going the same direction. Um, you've got the lighter walnut squares out here on the edge, and the darker squares towards the center. And of course, the walnut around the edge. And down here along this end, you can't pick it up on the camera, but there's a beautiful little burl pattern on it. Very nice. It's just a beautiful board, and it's heavy. I mean, it's not something you'd want to be lugging around all the time, and definitely wouldn't be taking it to tournaments. So it's been used mostly for display. So there's the board. Now let's move on to the pieces. Okay, this is the second incarnation of the entire chess set. This isn't the first set of pieces that I got for this set. The first set that I bought to go with the board about 40 years ago was a set of Lardy French Staunton pieces, and I used those for several years, quite a few years actually. Those chess pieces were very popular back then, the Lardy company. Um, I just recently gifted that set to my son, who's now in his 40s, and he cherishes them because back when he was just a little guy, maybe 7 or 8 years old, I was teaching him the game, and he often got to stay up way past his bedtime. So um, he loves those pieces, and we spent many hours playing, and his love for the game is as strong as mine is to this day. This set of pieces caught my eye sometime later. I don't know. I don't remember when I got these either, but they're at least 30 years old. The quality of a set of chess pieces is determined by the materials used, which is usually wood or plastic, but sometimes different types of stone or metals are used. Decent sets are also intrinsically heavy or weighted so that they aren't easily tipped over during play. Um, the size and detail of the pieces, especially the king and the knights, also contribute to the aesthetics of the set. This is a mid-range set. The light pieces are probably made of boxwood, but they're considerably darker than the new pieces that I purchased, and I'll be showing here in a minute. Um, Boxwood is used in high end sets and in some low end sets, and the dark pieces here are probably ebonized boxwood. They're probably boxwood as well that have been colored. True ebony is very expensive, and it's only used in high end sets. So, but I like I like the set a lot. Um, I like the high gloss finish and the color, which contrasts very well with the color and the satin finish of the board, I think, at least in my opinion. Um, the pieces fit nicely on the board. They're weighted, and they have leather covered bottoms. Let's see where the weights are in there. Nice feel to them. Um, these could be, the king comes in at about 58 grams, which can be considered triple weighted. That's a very general term. It's used very loosely, and I think it comes from the habit of Druki weighting their wooden sets with one, two, or three metal discs. Um, the set has a nice feel and appearance, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I searched for this set online, and I found one almost exactly like it on the Chess Baron website, which coincidentally is the same company from which I purchased the newest set. That set that I found listed for $89.95 without a box, and mine came with a very nice wooden box. I mean, it's uh, it's not felt lined or anything, but it's good solid wood, and it's got brass hinges and clasp. So it's a good solid board. And if you went to buy a box like this, it would probably cost you 50 or $60. So that's nice. I got the nice wooden box for it. Um, I don't know what I'm going to do with it now that I bought the new pieces. You know. I don't know. Maybe I'll sell it on eBay or Craigslist to recoup some of the money that I just spent, um, or gift it to someone else in the family that wants a nice set, or maybe another board's in order. Yeah, more money. And how many chess sets does one need? I already have five. Okay. Um, Now for the third and certainly, most certainly the last set of pieces to ever grace my Druki board. Well, maybe a classic Isle of Lewis set someday. Who knows? Okay, folks, here it is. The Zacharus chess pieces from Chess Baron at $439. I'm crazy, right? I suppose one could say that, could say that about anyone who is passionate about an interest that they have. Most people are happy snapping photos with their smartphone, while a National Geographic photographer, he requires a Hasselblad, he or she. A lot of folks have Huffy bicycles that they bought at Walmart hanging out in the garage, while a Tour de France rider is on a $12,000 machine. The comparison ends there for me, though. This set could be made out of gold and platinum, and I'd still be a mediocre chess player. But only other chess wackos going back 1,500 years would understand this expenditure. Yeah, it makes me happy. So, end of story. So on to the set. This is a high-end chess set from Chess Baron USA, whose parent company is in the United Kingdom. Um, all their premium sets, as well as those from other quality companies, are made from expensive wood and hand-turned and carved by skilled craftsmen in India. India's been long known for making fine chess pieces. Um, the woods for the light pieces are chidar, which is the Hindu term for boxwood. The wood is dense and difficult to carve. It has a creamy color with little grain, and it's very solid. Almost glass, has an almost glass-like feel to it. Beautiful stuff, it really is. Um, the dark pieces are made from rosewood, and there's many species of rosewood, some of which are endangered. But this wood is East Indian rosewood. The species is Dalbergia latifolia. It's indigenous to the Indian subcontinent in Southeast Asia. And rosewood is the part that's closest to the base of the tree. It's the most beautiful. It has the richest color and grain, and it's also very dense and difficult to turn and carve. Rosewood also has other uses like fine furniture and high quality handgun grips like these. Here's one on my Springfield Armory here, and another one here on my Sig Sauer. But you can see this wood is just very gorgeous wood. There's something you don't see in the same context every day. um, the set also comes with uh, an extra queen of each color, which could come in handy during some games. And it also came with a very nice boxwood case. This case is very nice. It has, it's felt lined and high quality. I believe it. If you were to buy it by itself, it'd be around $70. So this is a very nice case, dovetail construction, brass fittings. So that's very nice as well. As I said in the previous segment, the kings and knights contribute greatly to the aesthetics of the set. And in this one, the knights almost overwhelm the set, and they push the Staunton design to the very limit. But it's just beautiful. Um, the carving is exquisite, and you can just take a look at it here. Here's the rosewood piece. The carving is just wonderful on this, and here's the boxwood one. It's just very nice. The teeth are all carved, and it's just these are little miniature works of art in and of themselves. So very nice. Um, this new set, it's mostly for display, but I'll discuss its suitability for serious play by comparing the kings from both sets. So here's the king from the new set, the Zacharus, and here's the king from the old set. Okay. Uh, for tournament play, the International FIDE and the United States Chess Federation rules are quite similar, although there are some small differences. The playing field should consist of 2 to 2.5 inch squares, and at 2 1/4 inches, this fits nicely in the middle there. Um, uh, so the king's height and the width of its base is determined by the square size. So for 2 1/4 inch squares such as this, the diameter of the base of the king should be roughly 75 to 80% of the height. You know, so I'm sorry, the king should be roughly 75%. The base should be roughly 75% uh, of the width of the square. I'm sorry. So so for the old king here, um, at 3 3/4 inches tall with a 1 5/8 inch base, the old king falls just about 3% low of that range at 72%, which would probably still be acceptable for play. I don't think anybody'd kick you out for that. The new king is 4 1/4 inches tall with a 1 3/4 inch base, and that puts it just inside the range at a little under 79% ratio. And if the king is too tall and skinny or too short and fat, it appears very out of proportion to the rest of the set, and it'll affect the appearance of the entire set, all the other pieces. The ratio of the base to the height should be about 40 to 50%. The old king is at 43%, and the new one's at 42%, roughly the same proportion. So both of these sets are really pieces are really acceptable, Finally, the old king weighs in at 58 grams, as I said before, and the new king weighs 71 grams. So both sets have really great stability to them, um, nice balance and feel and weight. So here it is. This is my legacy chess set, and I hope to pass it down to someone else in the family that enjoys the game. I can actually see somebody playing on this set 100 years from now if it survives. I just can't see a $1,000 piece of craftsmanship ending up in the dumpster. So there it is. Until then, pawn to king 4, your move.